My name is Rowan Sutton. I'm a Professor of Climate Science and Research Dean at the University of Reading, and I am Chair of the Met Office Hadley Centre Science Review Group. The Science Review Group is appointed by the government customers for the Hadley Centre to ensure that the Hadley Centre is conducting science of an appropriate quality, and also to assess the impact of that science and evidence on government, and the wider impacts of the science and capabilities on the UK science community and indeed the international climate science community. So SRG reviews these activities every year. We are an international group of scientists and I am the chair, so my responsibility is to coordinate the views and input of that international panel. And we produce annual reports which go both to the government customers and to the Met Office. So climate science is global science. It relies on big capabilities, international networks of observations, for example, and also big capabilities in computing and data. It relies on collaboration internationally, and it's essential that the UK has access to world-class capabilities and continues to develop those capabilities so that they continue to push the frontiers of what's possible and what's necessary to provide the best evidence to government. So in order to meet these needs, we need advice from our international colleagues. And we're very fortunate that we have an outstanding group of scientists on SRG who come together to provide that international perspective, lend us their experience and offer challenge and suggestions as to how the UK capabilities can continue to develop and be at the forefront. We have 12 members, including myself as the chair, drawn from across the globe. Some UK members, but most are from outside the UK. They are all climate scientists of one sort or another, but they all bring distinctive areas of expertise. So, for example, we have expertise in high performance computing and data. We have expertise in Earth system modeling. We have expertise in extreme events and observations. It's a very broad panel. The fundamental role of SRG has, I think, been fairly steady since its inception. But in recent years, the importance of partnerships has grown very, very rapidly. And that's essentially because it's been increasingly recognized that climate change is such a cross-cutting issue. It's not just an issue for science, it's an issue for the whole of society. And we need, for example, to understand the impacts of climate change across the economy and across society. Now, the Met Office has key capabilities, but it cannot address all these challenges by itself, and therefore partnerships are ever more important. And SRG has a role there in advising on how partnerships are needed and can develop. And that's been increasingly important in recent years, and I'm sure that will continue going forward. One is the developments in convection permitting modeling. So these are really pushing the frontiers of what's possible computationally. And these developments are very important to help us better understand changes in extreme events, particularly extreme precipitation. So there's been very nice work in this area led by Lizzie Kendon and Kath Senior and other colleagues at the Met Office. Another really important area of development is on the global Earth system modeling and the work which is in partnership with the NERC centres, led by Colin Jones, to develop more complete Earth system models, in particular better representation of global biogeochemical cycles, such as the carbon cycle, but also bringing in new interactions, for example, with ice sheets that are very important for understanding sea level rise. So both these areas involve a large number of colleagues and are very important developments. Looking forward, the climate community had a very big conference in Rwanda in October, which was looking forward at the next decade of climate science and the key challenges. And of course, there are many. One of those challenges, highlighted by holding this conference in Rwanda, is the need to better engage the global South community of scientists and indeed policymakers. Within the science itself, there are many challenges. We still need to continue to work to understand the emerging signal of climate change on all scales, from global down to local. So at the local scale, particularly, we need to understand how extreme events are changing, for example, and will continue to change. At the regional scale, understanding changes in the circulation patterns in the atmosphere and the ocean, so the wind patterns in the atmosphere and ocean currents, there are many uncertainties about these aspects of climate change, and we need to continue to conduct research to better understand how those features of climate are changing and how they shape changing hazards and extreme events. So that's a key area. In terms of the Earth system as a whole, the possibility of non-linear interactions between different components of the Earth system, possibly leading to rapid change, for example, in ice sheets, or possibly in the carbon cycle, is a particular area of concern. The possibility of irreversible changes that might take place is an area of uncertainty for the science, but very important for policy, and so a key area of research. And perhaps one other area I would just highlight as an area of opportunity are the very rapid developments in artificial intelligence and machine learning. These offer many opportunities, and exactly how they will transform climate science, it's a bit early to say. But it's exciting, the opportunities that are presented, and I'm sure there will be very rapid developments